today. I'm going to do an oil change on a 2009 Buick LaCrosse. First step, drive the car up on Rhino ramps. Next, enter through the driver's side door. Pull the hood release and then press on the emergency brake. So find and then push to the right the secondary release latch for the hood. As a secondary precaution, install jack stands. And as you can see, the one on the left, the passenger side, is a little offset. The reason why is that the oil filter is right up there next to where the wheel is. So as you look in the engine bay, here's your oil dipstick. Here's your oil fill cap and where you're going to actually put the oil in. Here's your oil pan. Here's your oil drain plug. And then right over here is your oil filter right here. Okay, so we bought this car used, and this is the first oil change that we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an engine flush on the oil, and all that means is you're going to take this this flush and we're going to put it in where you'd normally put the oil. Then you run the car for 10-15 minutes and then you drain it like you would do like a normal oil change. And after you've done that, then you get in the vehicle and you start it and you run it for 10 to 15 minutes. All right, after about 10 to 15 minutes, depending upon how long you want to wait, we waited 15, turn the car off. And then we're gonna give it a few minutes to cool down before we change the oil. All right, so slide your oil pan underneath, or your oil catch pan underneath. Now this takes a 13mm socket, and but I'm going to show you something that we ran into. So if you look, the socket fits on there, but the transmission case is in the way, so we couldn't get the socket up there. It's not enough room. I even tried one of my ones that will bend and shake and whatever, and I couldn't get it on it. So if anybody knows a way to be able to get a socket on there, let me know in the comments. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take my okay, so what we're going to try is we're going to try and see if we can't keep this end to hold it in place. Almost. And keep it from dropping into the pan. There we go. So now I'm just going to wipe this off and clean it up to make sure that it's ready to go when we're ready to put it back on. And it's also a good idea to wipe it down and inspect it, just to double check to make sure that the seal is still good. The just to make sure that that seal is still good. Alright, so you want to wipe down like where it's going to seal and try and make sure that that's as clean as possible. And then and so then you do that finger tight. There. And then can't really get the torque wrench in here, or at least my torque wrench. So then this is supposed to be at 22 foot-pounds of torque. So I'm just gonna tighten it up. And we'll leave it at that. Like I said, if you know of a better way to find out how to get a socket wrench up here, or a torque wrench to figure out how to do the 22 foot-pounds of torque, that would be awesome. Just leave a message in the comments, please. Alright, so here's the wheel, and so we dropped our oil drip pan right underneath here, and so I'm going to kind of come up through here and see if I can't loosen this oil filter by hand. There we go. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna slowly release that, but I'm gonna put a couple of paper towels to try and catch any extra. Try to keep it off the car as much as possible. Alright. Got it. So you can see right here is where the oil filter is going to sit. What I want to do now, and it's going to kind of be hard to do with the camera and all this stuff, I'm just going to wipe down that area right there where it will seal to get all the excess oil and debris off, so I can get a clean seal when I put the new oil filter on. Okay, so the goal is to clean it up as best you can, so that you got a clean seal for the new oil filter, which we're gonna do now. Okay, so we ordered a Wix filter with this one. This one is rated for 10,000 miles. What you wanna do is you wanna double check just to make sure that it's the right size and that it'll work. Then what you wanna do is take some of the new oil, just a little bit, dip your finger in it and rub it on the new seal so that it makes a clean connection and to the car. All right, so then to install the new filter, you just want to take your time, make sure it threads on, and take it slow. And then just remember, hand tight is all you need. So I'm just gonna see if I can get it. And that'll work. Okay, so this takes 5W30, which is what we're using, 5W30. This is the Signature Series. This is actually rated for 25,000 miles. But we thought with the first oil change that this has more detergent and stuff in it, so we thought that it would be better to use this first time. So take the oil fill cap off, take your funnel, set it in place, and then the engine, it should hold 5 quarts with the filter. So we're gonna go ahead and pour in the first 4, and then we'll get an idea of where we're at. We'll check the oil level then. Okay, so we've added 4 quarts. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add another half quart, and then what we'll do is we'll put the oil fill cap back on, get in the car, start it, check for leaks with the oil plug and with the oil filter, and then we'll actually take it off the jack stands and the ram jacks and put it level, and then finish filling. All right, so we've started the vehicle, and now we're gonna check for leaks. Clean. Clean. Okay, so now that the car is level, we're gonna check the dipstick just to get an idea of where we're at, with the goal of filling the rest of the way. So as you can see, it's like right there on that low end. All right, so let's just double check to see where we're at. Looks like it's like right there in between that 3rd and 4th. So we'll add a little bit. And again, we're right there at that 4th.